Bear starts on pole position, second pole of the season with a 14.402, and Jordan Babinger is right next to him. Row number 2, Luke Turpin and Jonathan Bronson. Bronson, oh so close. When will we get that first win at XCAL competition? Row 3, Alex Krapser and Kendrick Cryer. Row 4, The Bachelor, Tyler Batchelder and Mason Foster. Round out the top 10, Joe Campbell, one of his best starts this season, and Patrick Sullivan. Row 6, it's Kenny Tripp and Kyle Bartos. Row 7, Zach Edwards making his XCAL debut and Sean Andrews. Row 8, Daniel Miller and Dwayne Robinson. Row 9, Ryan Seams and Austin Edwards, who came close to winning at Lanier last time out. Row 10, Blake Wynn and Sean Patrick. Row 11, Greg Holes, Brett Edgar. Row 12, John Friley, Jose Gaudino. Row 13, Aiden Berline, Art Hendren. Row 14, Jeremy Leto, John Brancaccio. Row 15, Gerald Poole and Robert Colgan. And then Derek Colson, Chase Johnson, Octavio Rondeletto, Jonathan Schwartz, and Logan Jones round out the field. There will be one more driver that will be joining us tonight. That driver is Tanner Kalin in the number 08. He will be making a late start for show-up points. Field rolls off for their 2 pace laps. You look at that front row very closely. On the outside, not a normal dropping bomb scheme for that 48 of Jordan Babinger. They've got 13 stars on the hood, dedicating, it's a tribute scheme for the 13 service members killed in Afghanistan on Thursday. We will be doing a silent lap on lap number 13 in memoriam for those 13 service members. 1 lap until we get the green flag. This track is nasty. It can either make you a hero or wash you up at the end of the day. Who's it gonna be? How's it gonna be done? We are about to find out. Race fans, strap in and hold on tight, because these men are about to turn them loose and drop the sledgehammer. It is show time at Lanier.
Into turn 1, and I give it 2 laps before we start seeing things really heat up. There's already some 3 wide mid-pack as the 88, the 999, and the 05 are going 3 wide already. I was going to say 2 laps before it gets a little bit crazy out there. They decided not to wait that long. There's 3 wide back behind them with the 2 DBR cars back there as well. The 53 and the 22 were briefly 3 wide. And even further back in the field, there's still 2 wide most of the way around the track. It's going to take a long time for these guys to get fully single file. Once they do, they'll be taking up, with this many cars on track, they'll take up almost the entire track. These drivers will have no time to rest tonight.
Alex Krapser in that 29 getting loose just a little bit on the exit of turn 4 as Matt Bear currently in the lead. Jordan Babinger second, Luke Turpin third, Jonathan Bronson fourth, Kendrick Cryer fifth. Reports that Octavio Rondeletto is blinking just a little bit. Here's Kenny Tripp looking inside on Sean Andrews. That's for 11th. How about Andrews in this 999 car? He's been improving a lot since he started racing in XCAL Racing.
Yeah, he's definitely one that has started appearing more later in the race. He's starting to get up there and do something with that car every race. So it'll be interesting to see next season how he does, as he's definitely going to be one to watch. As you mentioned, keeps improving. He's got a good team behind him as well. That definitely helps as well.
You notice here at Lanier Raceplex, as they were staying side by side for many laps, any groove pretty much here, Doug, is possible. You can go the harder way around the track on that second groove. It's really tough. You got to get back on the power first before the driver on the low line. Obviously, the best way around is when you nail your apexes in the corners. Matt Bear thinking about looking inside on Jordan Babinger. Nothing working at all. But Jonathan Bronson all over Luke Turpin. That's been a story we've been watching. When is he going to win? Last week, fell short, finished second at Rockingham. 5 to go, Robert Colgan came down into him.
Yeah, and we keep talking about Bronson just so close. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. He's up front, starting up front. He's got a fast race car, obviously, and I think tonight could be the night. The trick here tonight for whoever wins, they will have the least amount of incidents, they will have the least amount of damage, and they will have gotten to the front and just kept that car clean and out of trouble. They will have worked with the lap cars, and there will be a lot of cooperation, and it's going to be somebody extremely patient. That's the only way you're going to be able to win here tonight. If you start getting frustrated as Babinger starts looking to the inside,
sorry, Doug, but we're gonna have to go. We gotta go silent here on lap 13 for the 13 service members killed on Thursday in Afghanistan. God bless our troops and God bless America. The battle for the lead, like you said, Doug. I'm sorry to interrupt you there, by the way, but we just had to get that going because we came on late on that.
Yeah, we did.
The battle for the lead is heating up though between Babinger and Matt Barron. Look at this. Babinger looks inside.
Yeah, and we did see last race. We saw some guys use that apron, dive down and apex in the middle, and Babinger looks like he might have lost it. Got on the gas too hard, or is he going to try and make a move on the outside here?
That's what I. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, he was looking that way, but I think he might have gotten tied off too and lost a little bit of ground there. But we will see some guys start trying to make the move on the outside. The more people run up there, heat up the track up there, put some rubber down, put some more grip down, and these guys will start making moves up high.
So Luke Turpin up to second spot. That puts the Rolling Thunder teammates in first and second. Jordan Babinger third, Jonathan Brosnan fourth, and I think Babinger just scraped the wall there for a moment as now drivers start to come upon lap traffic, and it comes at you quick.
Yeah, like we were saying earlier, there is not a single moment to rest here once this has been green, and I'm really surprised it took this long. I think last time it was about 15 laps, especially later in the race once some cars are out there with some damage. As we see a move for the lead, Luke Turpin, his teammates just letting him by, it looks like, and letting him get some bonus points here.
That's 5 bonus points for Luke Turpin in the 454. We got some smoke. Brett Edgar has crashed in the number 53 in turn number 2. See if we look at a quick replay and see what happened to Brett.
All right, coming off of turn 4, and it looks like he scraped the wall, and then he scraped the wall in the front stretch, got loose, and Octavio right there. Octavio gets around pretty much unscathed, but Edgar ends up completely turned around.
Great job by race control to not bring a yellow out as he was on the apron. We take a look, by the way, at the live points between Turpin and Babinger. It's 5 bonus points for Luke Turpin for leading a lap, and this would be currently a 43-point lead for Luke Turpin as they are working on lap traffic hard, though. Matt Barron lost a little bit of ground, though, after letting Luke Turpin by. He's back in 5th position.
Yeah, here it is early in the race. There's not a lot of grip up top, and you get up there high, you're going to go backwards a couple of spots. It'll take him a couple of laps. He'll get back up there. It's not a big concern. The concern was getting Turpin those bonus points here tonight because it's getting so late in the season that any teammate that has an opportunity to lead a lap, they're going to let them do it and just make sure they get those points.
Let's go to a battle here for 16th position. Greg Holz, the other Rolling Thunder driver, goes by Blake Wynn, takes the spot away. Sean Patrick is up there in 18th. And let's give credit to Sean Patrick these past few weeks. He has done an impressive job, currently up to 16th in the standings and 55 points behind from getting that number 22 car locked into the top 15 in points.
Yeah, he has definitely been charging forward a lot lately. And early in the season, he struggled a lot. But the last probably 2 months, he's really been coming on really strong. That team.
Oh, trouble! Brett Edgar spins off of turn number 2 on the back chute, makes a nice save. And it's turned from bad to worse for the driver of the number 53 as he gets that back going. And it was right in front of the leaders, by the way, Doug, as we have a battle for the lead heating up.
See if we can get, yep, he just gets loose coming off of turn 2, gets down into the inside wall as the entire field is coming by on the outside. He does a great job of holding it down on the apron and not letting not getting in the way. And now he'll struggle to get back up to speed and get where he needs to be. And Turpin has Babinger back on the back bumper now, all over him.
Top 4 nose to tail in this battle for the lead, I should say. Top 5, maybe top 6. Babinger and Bronson, by the way, dropping bombs teammates. Bronson, by the way, having a technical difficulty with his paint scheme is what we are hearing from earlier today. That's why it's just the Fury Race Cars number 28 machine. What do you do here if you're Jordan Babinger? They're working up on Daniel Miller. You just be patient for right now, or when do you make your move to go for the race lead? Is it just when Turpin makes a mistake?
You wait for Turpin to make a mistake, or you wait to utilize one of those lap cars as a pick. If that lap car stays on the bottom, you go to the high side. You know that lap car is slower. It's going to slow the leader down. If that lap car jumps to the high side, that Luke Turpin's still going to have to slow down a little bit when he gets there, and if you want to make that move down to the apron, you can do it right then and there. Like I said earlier, we've had last race, we saw a lot of passes being made down on the apron. Blew our minds because it's such a risky move with the way the pit road entrance and exits laid out, but these guys made it work and had some interesting passes down there.
Let's go to 13th position as Austin Edwards has been making his way just past Ryan Seams for 13th. And this was a contender to win, like we said earlier, in the final laps of this race, Doug. However, though, when we had the final 10 laps to go, he got caught up in a wreck. Kept it straight, though. However, though, ended his day of a win as he had to go into pit road, get it repaired, then went to the tail end of the longest line for the wave around.
Yeah, that was a heartbreaker, and you know he's right there on the verge of that record-breaking win, and
yep.
You know he's probably not thinking about that record-breaking win right now, but I guarantee you if he's up front late in the race, that's definitely going to be on his mind, and you know 9 wins so far this season, he's not one to ever count out until that last lap.
Absolutely. He's not even in contention for the championship right now because Edwards began a few races earlier in the season, and the 66 was being fielded by Paul Coleman Jr., and they only had, I think, maybe one race upon his arrival, which was at Charlotte Motor Speedway because Coleman Jr. only races in the Super Speedway events. We continue to watch that battle for the lead closely.
And Pat Sullivan and Zach Edwards, we just saw it. Zach just gets off the turn a little bit faster than Pat Sullivan, and about every 2 or 3 laps, he's giving Pat a little bit of a tap and reminding him he's there. It looks like Patrick's going high and trying to carry more momentum. Zach Edwards now to the bottom, gets by cleanly. If Patrick Sullivan can get back down, he'll maintain and won't let Tyler Batchelder by. And you know what? Patrick Sullivan just went to the bumper of Zach Edwards. I'm beginning to think he might be expressing his displeasure with that first couple laps.
Nice start to the driver of the number 88, though. Currently up 6 positions. Started in 13th for his debut. Matt Bear losing some spots. Kenny Tripp to the inside for the final spot in the top 10. And Joe Campbell, as well as Austin Edwards, are right behind him.
And, you know, another driver we haven't talked about, we never talk about him in the first half of the race, but Jonathan Schwartz started back in 35th and is now up to 19th. I swear if he ever qualifies on the pole, he will lap the entire field twice in that race because he comes through the field, and sometimes midway through the race, he gets involved in something not of his doing, but he ends up back at the back of the pack and works his way back through the field again. He has been coming on strong this season.
Absolutely, he has. Currently running in 19th position. And who knows, he may be going to contend for a championship next season. There are a lot of close battles on track because a bunch of drivers are nose to tail. We just had a change for 22nd. Octavio Rondeletto going by Blake Wynn. What is going on here with the 81? I know he started up in 23rd position, but it seems like he's been fading back a lot.
Yeah, and, you know, Blake's had some problems the last couple of weeks. He just hasn't been as fast as he was early in the season. Some of these guys, they come on really, really strong early in the season and then start fading. Some of these guys start out really, really weak and then start moving their way forward. Just a late season and not just struggling here for Blake Wynn, but hopefully he'll be able to get back out there.
Wynn, by the way, losing a spot last week in points to Jonathan Bronson. Wynn currently now 11 points. The gap just 28 behind the driver of the number 28, and it's a good battle happening for third between Bronson and Cryer. Nobody trying to make a move. The top 7 currently nose to tail. Patrick Sullivan leading in 8th position in that second single file line, with Greg Holmes the caboose in 16th position. Here we go for the lead. Babinger looks to the inside. Turpin shuts the door.
And, you know, I just noticed we actually have an entire fan club for one driver in the field, currently running in 25th place. The 82 of Aiden, I'll probably say this last name wrong, Birlane, currently running in 25th position right now, but he's got quite the fan club tonight.
It's either that or Burline. I'm not too sure. So they're working on Daniel Miller in the 51. Bronson, I think, just blinked there for a moment, or Jordan Babinger possibly.
I think it was Bronson.
Probably him, currently in 3rd position. We should be seeing in a little bit our first round of green flag pit stops.
Bronson just blinked big time.
Not what you want if you're the 28, you know. He's been known as Bad Luck Bronson. We may have to call him Blinkin' Bronson here in a little bit.
He's definitely does not need a connection issue here tonight. He needs to win. He really does.
Absolutely. It's like he reminds me a little bit of Chase Elliott. Just gets so frustrated when he doesn't win after having such a good car, and he'll man up. He doesn't have he's going to stand up for himself on why he got screwed. So. Yeah. So 59 laps are complete. Luke Turpin the leader. When we come back, it'll be our first set of green flag pit stops in the more Polish Pottery 377. Stay with us.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Developing story, Luke Turpin is involved in an accident that occurred right in front of the leaders, with Sean Andrews and Brett Edgar. Derek Colson apparently are involved. Oh my goodness, let's take a look and see what happened.
All right, we're looking at the 5 of Derek Colson. That was the first car that, oh, the 53 gets loose on the high side. He's up in the marbles. You see it up there. And then the 5 gets caught. Then the 454 gets caught. And just a ton of chaos behind. Well, let's take a look at several different cars. You see the 53 up there on the high side. Just snaps loose. Catches the 5. There goes the 7. The 9 slips by. But Luke Turpin hits the back end of the 53 extremely hard. Kenny Tripp also gets caught.
And watch closely, by the way. Go back. Watch the onboard on Jordan Babinger. He actually rear-ended the 454. So could there be possibly front-end damage? It looks like just cosmetic, I think, from my end. But this is a developing story, especially towards the championship. Like we said, it was right now, before that happened, a 43-point lead.
He did. You see it right there. He did. He bounced off of it, but he got caught in that big time, and definitely not the way he wanted things to go tonight, and that definitely has massive implications for the championship, as we've got almost everybody now on pit road.
Absolutely, and we are hearing that Brett Edgar in the 53 will be disqualified. We're going to go to a quick break here, once again, make up what we missed, so we will be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back here, and we just had another incident happen off of turn number 2. Actually, a couple of them. Watch Art Hendren in the 21 on pit exit. Gets into Jeremy Leto. Leto just got disqualified, and Leto came down and should have let Hendren up the track. Oh my goodness.
I'm trying to see if we can get a replay on that. There has been so much happening in the last few seconds. It's going to be hard to cover everything that just happened, but a little bit, actually a lot of chaos. We knew we would see chaos late in the run here, but definitely a big surprise to see as much as we have, as early as we have, and 2 drivers already having to be disqualified. Okay, I think I found the incident with Art Hendren. As you see, this pit road is very tricky to get up off of. Art Hendren coming off pit road and tries to come up the track and gets the 17 and just turns him around. Just wasn't listening to the spotter, and that was just a bad situation. And there's been so much chaos since.
Absolutely. Let's tell you all the stuff that we missed here. Brett Edgar obviously getting disqualified. Mason Foster, Dwayne Robinson getting waved around the pace car. Same with Luke Turpin. Jeremy Leto, Art Hendren also disqualified. So we've already got, like, what, 5 drivers out of the race already, and we haven't even hit lap 100 yet. That's pretty crazy right there.
And before we go any further, I just have to update the fact that I now have a favorite new driver just based on his name. Aiden Beerline. That is my new hero.
Yeah, absolutely. So we get ready to go back to the green flag. And nope, not just yet, as Zach Edwards will be the race leader. A couple of things we should let you know as well. When the yellow flag came out, Jordan Babinger received 5 bonus points for leading a lap. So currently, without the finishing order, the points are going to still remain the same at 33. So as we wait to go back to green, Sim Racer Coin. Sim Racing Esports meets crypto and blockchain technology. Earn Sim Racer Coins, buy setups, paints, coaching, or join realistic leagues. Learn more at simracercoin.org. Sim Racer Coin. Racing is life.
And it is worth
it's
worth noting. Now it looks like we got waiver rounds coming, possibly. But right now, as it stands, Zach Edwards is leading. You see him there in the 88, but he is behind the 81 of Blake Wynn. Blake Wynn is 20th, and I'm still trying to locate the pace car because I don't know where it is. But It's a little bit crazy out there right now, and the restart could be even crazier.
I think there's an iRacing glitch. We should tell you this, though, too, while we are at it. Luke Turpin is in 4th position, so it didn't affect him a lot, though. However, though, Jordan Babinger, after pit stops, trapped a lap down. So keep that in mind. Right now, the pace car is in turn 3, and Jonathan Bronson is in front.
And
From
10th.
Bronson to Blake Wynn, there are 10 drivers in front, just about, in front of Zach Edwards, and they should be going around the pace car this time by. Yes, they are. They will catch up, and we're actually back to the green flag.
So they ended up just being tail end of the lead lap, and this is definitely an interesting situation. We haven't seen anything like that since the first race at Southern National. We see something like this occasionally, but not to this extent, and definitely not 80 laps into a 377 lap race. This is going to get very interesting very quickly.
Restarts can definitely get a little bit confusing here around Lanier, especially with how short the track is. Change for second. Mason Foster underneath takes the spot away from Kyle Bartos. And Luke Turpin is hungry to get back. And look who else is up here as well. Octavio Rondoletto in 5th. And Austin Evers in 6th. Race control just announcing Kyle Bartos and Daniel Miller both receiving black flags.
Oh, wow.
And Austin Edwards.
Oh, that's gotta hurt. We'll have to get more details on that. But wow, tonight is turning into quite a festivity. Like I said earlier, we know there's going to be a little bit of chaos. It is less than 3/8 of a mile around this track. The race line actually measures 3/8 of a mile, but the inside of the track, where most people measure races, measures 3/10 of a mile. So you know things are going to get nuts out here tonight with this short of a track and this many cars on track. But as you mentioned, 4th place, Octavio Rondoletto. We've talked about it week in and week out. He got that win earlier in the season. He should have won at South Boston until a connection issue. He should have won at North Wilkesboro until something weird happened late in the race at Wilkesboro, and so many could have, should have. He's the Jonathan Bronson in a 77 car.
Absolutely. And I'm hearing through a lot of drivers on the Will PD scanner, they are not happy at the way that restart went. 3 drivers getting penalized on 1 restart. That may be the most we've had all season long.
I don't think we've had more than 1. I mean, we've had a couple of instances where we've had guys penalized for changing lanes, as the 66 has served his penalty and he is back out on track. But yeah.
Oh my goodness. Look at this mess behind them. Sorry there, Doug, but Dwayne Robinson sent it in 3 wide on Rondoletto and Turpin, and Rondoletto taking 3rd position away from Luke.
And this, there's going to be battles and all sorts of chaos throughout this track. And now Rondoletto actually has a really good opportunity here, as they're still battling 2 wide right behind him. Luke Turpin managing to just get stuck up there on the high side, can't get that momentum going yet. And a couple of cars are going to come by, and look who's back behind him too. The 48's back there. There's several drivers back there that need to get past him, and now the 14 drifts high, and we're about to see. Did you see that move, my crier? Wow.
Yeah. By the way, we should mention this. Jordan Babinger is the 2nd car a lap down. The 14 of Dwayne Robinson is the first one a lap down. Robertson, Babinger, and Chase Johnson are eligible for waves should the yellow flag come out. 18 drivers are on the lead lap, as just had a change for the race lead. Mason Foster to the point for the first time today over Zach Edwards.
And interesting, haven't seen Mason Foster leading many green flag laps this season, but I know he has been trying to improve his driving, get faster, a little bit cleaner, and he's been doing a great job of that in recent weeks. Hoping to finally get that win in the bag here tonight.
Set a change for 15th. Patrick Sullivan inside on Greg Holes makes the pass stick for that spot. Some drivers currently near the tail end of the lead lap. Patrick Sullivan in the number 16 machine. 13th in the series points. just 35 out on the 53 for 12th, and it's looking very good that he will gain a spot in points.
Yeah, and we keep talking about how crazy it is around this track. Let's take a ride with our leader, Mason Foster. You see he's got his left sides down on the apron as he goes through, and that flatter apron, if you get your tires down there, it can help you rotate. And you see the whole time they are turning, there is never a point where the wheel is just not at least a little bit to the left. And worth mentioning, the DBR cars, as you saw there, God bless America on the back, and obviously an American flag car up there, the 51.
Absolutely. We'd like to take this opportunity, by the way, a couple of things. First off, Daniel Miller's scheme, amazing, not just for the 13 service members killed in Afghanistan, but also we are approaching a very tough day coming up Saturday, as a lot of you know. 20 years since September 11th, 2001, the terrorist attacks that destroyed the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center, as well as the Pentagon. 4 plane crashes to be exact. Just such a sad day. And Doug, I'm sure you remember where you were on that sad day.
Unfortunately, I do. Yep. And it was definitely a rough and interesting and difficult time for quite some time afterwards. And it took a long time to recover. But, here we are 20 years later, and I'd like to think we're doing a little bit better.
Absolutely. 3-car battle for the race lead, maybe a 5-car battle as well. Look at the mess. It is a hornet's nest down the back straightaway with Mason Foster, Zach Edwards, Octavio Rondeletto, and company.
Yeah, and you got a couple of DBR cars that need laps back right behind the top 5, so they're going to be trying to get through this. Octavio, he is patient and just works his strategy the entire race. So he might be just playing this safe. We might see him let some cars by very easily here if they can make something happen. And as another thing we heard in pre-race, as the sun goes down, you'll start seeing the lights come up. The track will cool a little bit, and that will change the handling of these cars. We'll see some guys come forward, some guys come back, and a lot of positions may change after pit stop adjustments.
Oh, that got very close there for Zach Edwards and Blake Wynn. Now, Blake Wynn just went a lap down. That's not really what you want to see if you're Jordan Babinger. That now puts him the 2nd car a lap down at the moment. Remember the 3 waves in XCAL competition.
Yeah, and Babinger now right behind Blake Wynn. He's going to be hoping Blake will stay to that high side. He does. Babinger's going to dive underneath, so that'll put him back as the 1st car in position to get that lap back. And looking at it, Babinger's coming out at the start-finish line. There's the leader in 1. So Babinger's actually gaining a little bit on Mason Foster. Could we see a situation where Babinger manages to work his way up here and possibly unlap himself the old-fashioned way?
Who knows what could happen, that is for sure. And battle for 3rd here, Krepser and Cryer both get by Octavio Rondeletto. So Rondeletto fading back to 5th position. Should mention, too, that Octavio, the biggest mover of the... Oh, he got loose! Oh, boy, that got close. Babinger gave him a bump in 1 and almost caused a yellow.
Wow. Great save by Rondeletto and great sportsmanship. Babinger backing off there. He knew he knew he'd made the mistake. He backed off, lets the 77 recover, and even let the 81 back by, just trying to correct the issues. So that was a great save by everybody involved, but now Rondeletto's got a lot of ground to make up.
Oh, look at this mess behind Mason Foster. A battle behind them. Matt Bear and Patrick Sullivan for 15th. What do you do here if you're Mason?
Cross your fingers, hold your breath, because there's not a lot. The only move he has at this point is just diving to the apron, and it's
boy!
Or you do that.
Sullivan moves Bear up the track. Here we go. Nearly 3 wide. Accordion's the field.
Fortunately, he backed off there, but yeah, that was another option that It was always a possibility, especially on these short tracks. And you can see Mason just pulls right back up to Patrick Sullivan. He knows he's got a faster car, but he is giving him a little bit more room this time. The 19 staying up high, he's not going to fight it, and it looks like Pat Sullivan might move up and let Mason by when he gets back to him.
We'll see what happens as Zach Edwards closing in just a little bit. So your top, how about this? Gotta give credit to Jonathan Bronson too. 5th position, he's now your biggest mover of the race.
He just keeps marching his way towards the front, and we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. But Bronson definitely having another great run here tonight. Looking to see, so far, 5th place is Jonathan Schwartz. So
Absolutely.
Started 35th up to 5th. He is on the move.
Absolutely. Mason Foster leading at Lanier National Speedway. We'll take a break. If any crashes occur, we'll come right back to you. Stay with us here from Lanier. Welcome back to Lanier Raceplex. 131 laps are on the board here in the Morro Polish Pottery 377 with Mason Foster as your current race leader. Green flag pit stops beginning momentarily. And while we're at it, let's take this opportunity to say hello to a couple of people. First off, want to give a big hello to someone watching. Right now, I don't see him in chat, but it is Clinus LaBeouf, not racing for the rest of the season. You all know him as the Beef, the guy in the number 03. However, though, we want to wish him well because Clinus is from Louisiana, and obviously all the stuff happening with Hurricane Ida down in New Orleans. Clinus, if you are affected by it, we hope everything's going well with you. Hope though your family is staying out of the hurricane trouble. Front straightaway. Octavio Rondeletto is loose off of turn 4, and he's loose again in 1 and 2. Man, he's dirt tracking it big time.
Yeah, he is definitely struggling. Not something we're used to seeing out of the 77 car. Let's see if we can get... He's actually gone back a little bit on position. He is now back to... I'm seeing him scored as 27th after...
Yeah, because he pitted on lap 116. I think it was after he got involved in that close call with Jordan Babinger.
So he has definitely gone back, and it looks like he has made some sort of adjustment to that car while he was on pit road, and it's probably not gone the way he wanted, to be perfectly honest, as that car definitely struggling, and the 88 is just hounding him off the back.
Absolutely. So let's go back in as we've got green flag pit stops happening. Give a big hello to a couple of people in chat. We'll start things off on the Twitch. Super John rooting for Aiden Beerline. For those wondering where he is, Beerline currently in the 22nd position. Alex Gingler, hello to you, sir. Says that there was a situation where 8 cars were black flagged in one restart. Can't remember the race, though. Mason Foster, by the way, leading the second most laps at Michigan. Racer Girl 13 says, wow, a lot of laps. Beerline still hanging in there. Gangler's sponsor, More Polish Pottery, is in the chat. Welcome to you. We're glad you're enjoying the race. And also, Anne-Marie, John Beerline. Like you said earlier, Doug, the Beerline family definitely has a lot of support. And then we definitely appreciate your support. The announcer's doing a great job. Stephen Jody Haggard, rooting for Mason Foster, your race leader.
And I don't know how many more times I can say Aiden's name. I'm going to get really thirsty up here.
Me too. I'm kind of craving a Labatt beer right now.
I should come through this phone and slap you for that.
Real? Oh wait, you're from Florida, right?
No, I'm from the South, the real South.
Okay. Okay. So you don't know what Labatt Blue is?
Actually, I do. I've had Labatt. It's not bad, but definitely not my favorite. Is Mason now negotiating through some heavy lap traffic, including Rondoletto, who is just trying to keep Mason behind him for the time being.
Rondoletto, by the way, on pressure tires, trying to use the best to his ability, as we've got a good battle happening for 8th in front of the leaders. Kenny Tripp and Tyler Batchelder in the 12 and 25. Rondoletto working on them in front of Mason Foster.
Yeah, and you know, did Rondoletto just give the 12 a little tap?
I think he gave the 25 a tap from my perspective.
I think he might have gotten both of them.
He gave the 25 a tap again.
You know,
Octavio better be careful. Remember, he's got some right side damage too, Doug.
Yeah, he definitely does, and that is an unusual situation for Rondoletto. He's got to be extremely frustrated because I can count on one hand the number of times he has tapped somebody this season. He's usually bringing that car back in one piece. Oh, my goodness.
Mason Foster just forcing his way by the 25 of Batchelder. Not sure if some of the lap traffic likes it right now.
Oh, the 88 hits the 25 extremely hard as the 5 goes onto pit road and almost causes an issue locking the brakes up.
Getting very close. We can tell you this too. Jordan Babinger coming out of pit road, by the way, so he's already come in. Luke Turpin in 6th position is staying out. Once everyone cycles through, we will update you on, 3 wide off turn 4. We'll update you on the point standings. I'm getting nervous for the leaders right now. For all the front runners. This is scaring me.
Zach Edwards, the one that probably is the most concerned right now is Alex Crapser. He's seen the front 2 get by this lap traffic, and both of them had to use a little body movement, let's say, to get past a couple of the lap cars. And he's seen this. He's been trying to keep that car clean, and he gets by the 12 fairly easily here. We'll see if he can keep that car clean, but the leaders definitely having to use a little bit more body language to get past some of these lap cars, as some of these guys just do not want to give up.
I think Crapser may have had to change the fire suit after what he saw in front of him.
Probably so. We'll probably see him out of the car on pit road.
Especially with the last name.
He pulled a Tony Stewart at Watkins Glen.
Sorry, we're just having too much fun in the booth right now. Let's get back to the action. Let's watch Sean Andrews and Luke Turpin in a battle for 6th position. Remember, Turpin suffered that front end damage during the first... Oh, hang on. Developing story here, I should say. Kendra Cryer, who was a front runner, has disconnected.
Wow.
I'm not sure what this is.
I don't know the last time.
Oh, go back. Let's go watch the replay. Kendrick Cryer, watching turn number 2. Oh, he had damage. He had damage here. Behind the 88, watch on lap 132. He clipped the wall and lost the right front tire.
Oh,
No, I think Rondeletto clipped the wall and lost the right front. Rondeletto lost the right front on lap 132. Cryer hits it, gets into the wall, and that pretty much ends his day. Oh my goodness.
Trying to see if we can get the replay.
He's got no right front. The right front suspension was gone. He couldn't even steer that thing.
And that is definitely a heartbreak for a guy that's been really coming on extremely strong here lately.
And now, at the same time, that confuses me because I think... No, Cryer was the one who got the wall and lost that right front. Oh my goodness. How does such a wall scrape like that damage your car big time?
Wow. And can't seem to get the replay on that one, but that's a heartbreak for Cryer because he had been having some really great runs lately. He had struggled middle of the season and gone backwards a little bit, and recently just started marching back towards the front, having some good consistent top 10 finishes, and then all of a sudden to have this happen tonight, that definitely is definitely hurts.
Battle for the lead is on, though, between your top two, Mason Foster and Zach Edwards. They will have to pit in just a moment.
Let me see if I possibly have the Kendrick Cryer incident here.
It was on lap 132. It won't show up in red for you, Doug, but you may get to see...
I found him on pit road, and that is the last... We'll keep looking and see if we can pull that one up. But meantime, Mason Foster does have a small problem in the lead, and that problem is the 77 car right in front of him. I don't think Rondeletto is going to let him by easy.
Zach Edwards, by the way, just coming into pit road. That puts Jonathan Bronson in the 28 in second. Top 4 have yet to pit on the racetrack. So... looking at Kendrick Cryer's chat, by the way, he's 9th in points, coming in, was 50 behind on Kenny Tripp, and Jonathan Bronson was 54 behind him, so that could be another spot for Jonathan Bronson. As the leader hits pit road, Bronson to the lead, and should get 5 bonus points off the turn this time. Cryer is saying in the Discord, barely touched the wall, right front, be like, nope. Lanier has striked, in the words of Clinus LaBeouf.
Well, that's a heartbreak for and Bronson is now on pit road. Luke Turpin will assume the lead this time, and that is definitely a heartbreak for Kendrick Cryer. And really rooting for him the last few weeks as he started charging his way back to the top spots in the points, and tonight really hurting that effort.
A slow stop, by the way, for both Rondeletto, Edwards, and I believe John Schwartz as well. 37, 38-second stops. Alex Krapser, a 32-second stop. So I believe once the field cycles through, your new leader will be Alex Krapser in the number 29. But you know what 2 Superman is. He loves to stretch it on a long run in a short track.
Oh, definitely. He's
I
been
think he's coming in this time.
I think so. He's been out there for a while, but no, he does not stop, but he's way slow. Could he not get woed up for pit road entry?
I am not too sure. That's a good question.
It is a little bit tricky to get on pit road. He was slow on the bottom, and it could be one of 2 things. He couldn't get to pit road, or he's trying something different. And he's going to keep stretching this fuel mileage even as some of these lap cars are starting to gain on him, including, look who's inside of Rondeletto right now. And Rondeletto currently scored in 3rd.
Jordan Babinger, who's currently in the 11th position, and it's a mess behind Luke Turpin. By the way, Lanier, a very tricky pit road. You come in turn 4 and you exit in turn 1. But here is the key thing. You have to make 1 complete lap around. Let's see here. Luke Turpin just reporting on the Will PD that he is pitting within this lap, not 2 times. So he's coming in this right now, I believe. Yes, nope. He's waiting. He's going to let the pack go by. I think that's to avoid getting wrecked.
Yeah, it was going to get a little bit sketchy there if he tried to pit right there. And it's probably a smart move letting a few of these guys at least get to the high side, give them another lap or two of warning. Mason Foster right on the back bumper. He's definitely going to have to let Mason by to be able to get... Oh, my goodness. Mason's in his bumper.
That got close there with Mason Foster, who cycles out in 3rd position. Zach Edwards actually made that height, came out ahead of Mason Foster. That's very interesting, but Foster's going to have like 2 to 4 laps of fresher tires.
Yeah, and so, you saw Luke Turpin. He is taking the long circle around this pit road. You lose several laps pitting under green flag here. Obviously unavoidable, but you got to make sure that you come out ahead and you don't get caught by a caution.
Daniel Miller off the pace in the 51, coming into pit road this time by, trying to find the best battle on track, and it is the battle for what would be the 2nd spot, Edwards and Foster. I don't know how Alex Krapser outsmarted him unless it's a strategy call to use less fuel.
Their pit times were basically 5 seconds apart, so I really don't know, but that is definitely interesting, and I'm starting to see a little bit of a blink from Zach Edwards.
Interesting situation there.
And
so Alex Krapser officially assumes the lead. 180 laps complete. When we come back, it's halfway, and we'll give you a full field rundown. $191 laps are in the books. We are just past the halfway point. Do you want more Higgins the XCAL Superfan outside the halfway point? Introducing Higgins the XCAL Spotter Pack. Over 500 messages of Higgins that can be used in any iRacing event, and it's available now. To order your copy, PayPal $20 to president@xcalracing.com with note hashtag Where's Higgins. The spotter pack is rated R in everything the title implies, and use the clues hidden within the spotter pack to determine where Higgins was during his absence. First correct submission wins an XCAL Racing t-shirt. Doug, what's coming up on How to Suck at iRacing?
Well, it's a lot coming up, actually. The Outlaws return tomorrow night with their Cup and Limited Late Model season, week number 8. So their 10-week season coming to a close soon. And if you're a dirt racer, the American All-Star Dirt Series, their second recruitment race comes Thursday at 7 Eastern. You can find links to that, as usual, on our Facebook page. The Friday night, we'll be streaming the in-car completely inappropriate HTSAI Friday Fun Series and having a little bit of fun there. Actually, be doing a little bit of racing myself again on Saturday. Then Sunday morning, this is awesome. After the broadcast this past Sunday with the GT3 Not So Serious crew, we are signed up to finish their season and do their entire next season. That is Sunday mornings at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Then Outlaw Trucks return at 7:30 Eastern. Fast and Fun ARCA series will probably be delayed a week, but then we go back to the Outlaw Dirt doubleheader next Monday night, and of course XCAL being off next Tuesday. And finally, Gerald Poole G2 Racing League, they have the upcoming John Paul Jr. Huntington's Disease Charity Series starting on September 16th. We'll be making a lot of announcements on that in the next few weeks. And of course the Fast and Fun Autism Charity Race on September 18th. Whew, that was a mouthful.
Definitely. Let's take this opportunity to update you on your championship contenders. Luke Turpin back in 11th now, and Jordan Babinger in 13th. They're on different strategies. You know, Turpin, he likes to pit longer than everyone else. Turpin pitted on lap 178, so a 20-lap run. For Babinger, this is about a 50-lap run he is on. And with Turpin and Babinger each leading, they have not led the most laps. However, though, they each have 5 bonus points for leading laps. And as we take a look, by the way, with a 11th place versus a 13th place, that would be a 6-point gain at the moment for Luke Turpin. So that would put the championship standings up to 39 for Luke Turpin.
How many more weeks will it be this close? I mean, really, we've seen it, 33 points coming into the last 2 races. So this tonight could be a deciding factor here. But, you know, the way things are going right now, they're only 2 spots apart. Would you be surprised if, let's say, one finishes directly in front of the other, one gets a few more bonus points, and they end up still at 33 bonus points after tonight, or 33-point difference after tonight?
Yeah, who knows what could happen is Babinger's fading back a little bit, and he actually just got lapped by Alex Krapser. That would put him, I believe, 2 laps down. Let's take this opportunity to look at our full field rundown. 4 drivers are currently on the lead lap. Alex Krapser has maintained a 9-second lead on Mason Foster in second. Jonathan Bronson is third. Zach Edwards in his first XCAL start. Incredible run for him, currently in 4th position. Austin Edwards 5th, Jonathan Schwartz is 6th, Sean Andrews is 7th, Kenny Tripp 8th, Joe Campbell 9th, Luke Turpin is 10th, Tyler Batchelder 11th, Jordan Babinger 12th, Greg Hose 13th, Octavio Rondeletto is pitting, by the way, Ryan Seams 14th, Matt Bear 15th, Dwayne Robinson 16th, Chase Johnson 17th, Patrick Sullivan 18th, Sean Patrick 19th, and Blake Wynn is 20th. Doug?
21st will be Robert Colgan, then Rondeletto currently being scored in 22nd on pit road. We'll show you a replay of why here in a moment. Now Derek Colson to 22nd, Logan Jones to 23rd, Aiden Bierlein is 24th, John Friley will be 25th, Gerald Poole will be 26th, Kyle Bartles 28th, Jose Godino 29th, Daniel Miller 30th, 31st is Kendrick Cryer, Jeremy Leto, Art Hendren, Brett Edgar, Ezekiel Montero, and John Brancaccio rounding out the field, and also all out of the race right now. And let's see what sent Rondeletto to pit road early.
I think it was just a green flag pit stop. He is trying a different strategy, possibly to make it.
What? Oh, he did. He he locked up and missed the entrance to pit road. He was going to pit road, but he locked up and missed it and lost a lot of time.
Not what you want to be doing. Let's go to that battle for 10th while we're at it between Luke Turpin and Tyler Batchelor. That is the closest battle. Remember, Luke Turpin is actually on 11 laps fresher tires compared to the Batchelor and Tyler Batchelor.
Hey, just noticed in the chat, the Team 82 sponsor just said they will send a mug to the winner of the race, and I do believe that is More Polish Potteries right there. So shout out to them for continuing to just keep things awesome.
Now, More Polish Pottery, I want to ask you guys, are we talking what kind of mug? Are we talking a coffee mug? Are we talking a beer mug? What kind of mug are we talking about? Let us know in chat, and we will let the winner know, by the way, post-race. We got a good battle as well for 16th. Patrick Sullivan just getting by Matt Bear for that position.
Matt Bear really struggling tonight. I'm really surprised by that, but here he is. He came into tonight really high hopes, and when we talked to him before the race, he had a great plan. He just was going to, he said he had a top 5 car. He was just going to stay up in the top 10 and play it safe, but wrong place, wrong time multiple times, and he's losing a little bit of ground, and Ron Deletto about to come around him. That is not for position, as Ron Deletto much further back, but Matt Bear in 16th. It seems to be struggling tonight.
The Lap 200 range is brought to you by K2 Sauce, the official sauce of XCAL Racing. It's an everything sauce, from barbecue to steaks to ketchup and more, all in one. The only sauce you'll ever need, also available in hot and coming soon, Southern style.
Yeah, I've already negotiated to get one of the first bottles of Southern style.
By the way, More Polish Pottery says their choice of a coffee mug or a beer mug.
I just won this race. Alex Krapser is definitely looking like he might be getting a mug before the night's out. He's got a half of a lap lead over Mason Foster. And here we are at lap 223. And we've had a long green flag run. We've had green flag pit stops. We're starting green flag pit stops again. This race is flying by. And if you'll think back to the previous race this season, if you think about it, there was a lot more cautions by now. Everybody doing an amazing job of staying clean out here tonight. And this thing is really flying by. And you think about it, the lap times are 14 and 15 seconds. So the time would fly by. I mean, 4 laps a minute. But, man, it's crazy with all the on-track battles and everything. It's really an impressive feat here.
Krapser has been such an incredible driver in XCAL competition. In the last 5 races, he has had 3 podium finishes. I think the most notable one came at USA a couple of weeks ago, losing out in a photo finish to Kendrick Cryer.
A photo finish where he was actually driving on the wall. So it is worth mentioning that. And you can find all of the past XCAL races on the How to Suck at iRacing YouTube channel. And I will even throw up really quickly. That is the link. HTSAI.net is the link to go find all the links to all of our social media and other stuff. And, of course, xcalracing.com.
Let's go to a battle for 6th position. Kenny Trippin. How about Joe Campbell? Big shout out to him. I think this is his best run on a short track oval this season, I want to say. 7th position, started in 9th. He's been very consistent all day so far.
You know, on the bigger tracks, anything about 7/10 of a mile and bigger, Kenny Tripp is always up there battling, but less than half a mile, and he seems to just struggle a little bit. It's not that he is bad, but he doesn't really get the top 10 finishes. He always finishes outside the top 10, sometimes just in 11th or 12th, but he's always outside the top 10 on these shorter tracks. So it's awesome to see he has got that car really dialed in here tonight.
Oh, trouble front straightaway. A car just got the wall. I'm not sure who it was. I'm going to take a look. I think it was the 82 of Aiden Beerline that just got loose and got the wall. Interesting situation there, but anyway, yeah, Joe Campbell, we just mentioned he's never had a top 10 finish. His best finish in XCAL competition is 13th. That came last week at The Rock.
Yeah, awesome run for him last week as well.
We can tell you this as well, that Zach Edwards did come in. No, he is off the pace, I believe. He had an issue. Edwards is in trouble. His car is very loose. He was just in, what, the 3rd position, and he is off the pace. He is all the way back to 9th.
Trying to get a closer view. Wow, he is wiggling that car around. He's got all 4 tires. They all look like the pressures are. He gets to pit road, but as you noticed, as he was coming to pit road, there's a lot. This track, the marbles build up. You see them up on the high side, but you also see them down low. And when we saw the first race here this season, when we saw guys passing down on the apron, man, it got sketchy because they get down in those marbles and they'd get loose and it'd just get chaotic. Not sure what happened to him, but man, that's he had some trouble getting onto pit road too, so that definitely hurts.
Definitely. So 3 drivers are on the lead lap: Krebser, Foster, and Bronson. And green flag pit stops are going to happen momentarily by a lot of drivers. A bunch of them have already come in. Jordan Babinger, by the way, has already made a stop. And Luke Turpin, trouble for Luke Turpin. Smoked him in 1 and 2. Dirt tracked it with a nice save. Got a bump from Tyler Batchelder into the corner. Nice save from Luke. This has been a night with a lot of contact for our Superman. But guess what? The only thing that can destroy him is kryptonite.
Well, he's come close to being introduced to kryptonite a couple of times tonight, and look, Jonathan Schwartz down on the bottom for 3 wide off of turn 2. The 25 wisely backs out of that one.
That got very close, and Turpin, I don't think that was intentional, but that was like, hey, you do this to me, I'll do this back to you. So 241 laps are complete. Alex Krebser leads. When we come back, it's green flag pit stops at Lanier. .250 laps are complete, and Luke Turpin, oh, sorry there for a moment, him and Tyler Batchelder are battling for 5th position on the track. I just heard Turpin yell something that like he wasn't happy. I'm not too sure, but that's interesting. Mason Foster, your race leader, though, over Jonathan Bronson. Top 2 have yet to pit. I am seeing, I'm not sure if you noticed this as well, someone has blown their engine.
And that honestly does not surprise me, given some of the setups that some of these guys and some of the gearing some of these guys run. Then add into it any front end damage, and then add to it constantly on the throttle, on the brake, on the throttle, on the brake. And
Oh my! That got close there with Luke Turpin, Chase Johnson, and Jose Gaudino. Sorry, Doug, they were trying to weave through lap traffic.
Oh, they're going to try this 3 wide. No, the 57 Chase Johnson backs out of it just a little bit, but they do clear the 20, who stays down low as the 20 was down almost on the apron as the 03 was coming back out on track, and this is the danger we've talked about. We will see some passes on the apron tonight, but you better be holding your breath and hope nobody's coming off pit road or nobody's made that decision. It's time to go to pit road just as you're diving down.
And speaking of pit road, Jabroni dives into pit road, that being Jonathan Bronson making his way on in. So Foster, the only driver that was on the lead lap that has yet to pit. We're going to watch him closely. He last pitted on lap 167. Joe Campbell going to pit this time from the 3rd position. So just waiting on Mason Foster. This is right now just over a 90-lap stint.
Yeah, and some of these guys I talked to said they were looking at anywhere from 88 to 92 laps on fuel. So definitely some interesting strategies, and a guy like Luke Turpin, he's going to stretch it to the absolute max and get as much as he can out of it. But some of these guys can't do the same thing, and it does make things a little bit interesting, as Mason Foster now has the entire field lapped. So if a caution were to come out right now, and right in front of him is a bunch of chaos, if the caution were to come out right now, he would be in the catbird seat. They'd wave 3 cars around, but, Mason's, and those 3 wave around cars would be at the tail end of the field. Mason would be at the front. How long before he lapped him again? And, man, the way this thing is going, could we see Lanier go green flag the rest of the way?
Who knows what could happen. Foster comes on into pit road at a speed of 30 miles an hour. You brought up a good point. 88 to 92 laps the pit window. These drivers will all have to make one more stop, and it will be just before the finish. But could somebody save, like Luke Turpin, who last pitted on lap 178? I think Turpin could be in the catbird seat. We'll see what lap he pits in, though. That will be the real question, as he will be the last to pit before the field cycles through.
Yeah, if anybody can do it, Luke Turpin, he's been out there for, I just went blank trying to do math, 85, 86 laps now. So he, if he stretches it another 10, if he can go another 15, he would definitely make it to the end on one stop. And we've seen Turpin pull off a couple of tricks like that this season. He saves so much fuel. And look, there's lap cars going around him. Here comes Austin Edwards on the high side. Could Luke Turpin be saving fuel here? And he's done the math on it, and he's going to make something happen. A couple of weeks ago, he said he wasn't going to do any more crazy strategies, but he didn't.
Superman.
Yeah, he didn't at Rockingham, and he admitted he stayed on pit cycle with everybody else. But, when we get on these shorter tracks, he's always got something up his sleeve.
Absolutely. He's letting these drivers go by. His lap time, by the way, at a 15.26, so that's nearly half a second slower compared to the leader's pace, or compared to race pace, I should say. And he hasn't said over the wheel PD when he will pit. 110 laps to go, by the way, here at Lanier. And this is just the only guy we were waiting for. Alex Krapser, by the way, is 11 seconds behind in 2nd position.
And Luke Turpin is getting swallowed alive by a bunch of cars. But in 7 laps, the way he is running, he will be able to go the distance on a single stop. And while he is losing a little bit of time on track, he's going to more than make it up by getting that single pit stop. and he'll have one pit stop less than everybody else. That saves 2.5, 3 laps, depending on what you do on your pit stop. If he stops one more time, they'll all come in. He will lap the entire field twice.
I'm listening to this really closely on his onboard to see if he is saving fuel. Oh, he's not keeping it. He's not going on the throttle until like 3/4 of the way through the turn. You know what? He has just gone over 90 laps on this pit run, and maybe even 94. I think this is Luke Turpin's in the catbird seat. Not a lot of people were talking about it with the way Krapser, Bronson, Edwards, Foster have performed today at Lanier after we had our first caution. This could be Turpin's race to lose.
We're in car with Luke Turpin right now, and you see he's still got that damage on the nose, but he never goes full throttle. He is staying out of that throttle. He's rolling out of it early. He's rolling back onto it easily. He is stretching that mileage. He knows from here, if he can make it, I think, yeah, if he can make it 2 more laps, he can go the distance. As in 2 more laps, he will have gone 100 laps. So he can definitely stretch it. Once he comes in, I do believe we're going to see Luke Turpin's final stop.
Absolutely. And this could possibly be the race-winning stop early on here. Lead is closed down to just about 8 seconds, so I'm not sure if Alex Krapser is aware of the strategy Luke Turpin's pulling. I think he's probably surprised that Turpin's been going this time long. Turpin just said he is pitting this time by, so this is a 100-lap fuel run for Luke Turpin.
And next time, he only has to go 99. Actually, It'll be like 98 by the time he gets back out off of pit road and everything settles in. And he will not have to stop again. Everybody else, Alex Krapser, Jonathan Bronson, they have to stop one more time. He'll come back out, and he has the advantage here tonight. It's really Luke Turpin's race to lose. Now, we have seen a couple of times Luke Turpin has pulled these strategies out of a hat and pulled off some miracles, and then to get caught or to get wrecked late in a race. So you don't want to jinx the guy, but man, he is in a really good position right now.
Just the question being, will Turpin have enough? Can he save enough? The answer could be yes, but we don't know until we hit the checkered flag, because pretty much here at Lanier, the half a lap to go, I think. But anyway, so only now 2 drivers are on the lead lap in front of Alex Krapser. He just crossed the start-finish line, and Krapser just crossed it now. Jonathan Bronson's in second spot, and we just had a change for third happen a couple of moments ago. Austin Edwards just took third spot away from Mason Foster.
And you know, Austin Edwards, he is still being scored 1 lap down to the leaders right now, or actually 2 laps down to Krapser. But he is a fast race car. He is probably the only other guy out there. You know, he's paying attention to everybody else's strategy. He's one of the few that could stretch the fuel as long as Luke Turpin does. And we'll have to wait and see how he does here tonight. But he's got a long way to go, and he's going to need a miracle to have any chance against Luke Turpin here. Luke Turpin needs this thing to go green until the final run of green flag stops. A caution comes out, and Luke Turpin's night might be over. And correct me if I am wrong, but tonight is more than one driver. Aiden Beerline this is his race debut.
Yep.
And we had another Zach Edwards, his race debut. Aiden in 25th, Zach in 22nd. So these guys, considering the level of competition that are out there, these guys are doing a fantastic job.
Let's update you on the battle for the championship. 10 versus 16. 135 minus 117. That would be about an 18-point gain as of right now for Jordan Babinger. That would cut the lead down to 15, but remember, everyone has one more stop except for one man. That is Luke Turpin. He is the only one that can go the distance. Everyone else, a stop to go, and Turpin is up to 15th. just took it away from Ryan Seams.
Yeah, Turpin now out there on his final set of tires. He's got all the fuel he needs. And I guarantee you, he is still saving just a little bit here, but he doesn't have to save a ton, at least not right now. He can take it easy behind these lap cars, wait till he has a chance to get an easy pass. He doesn't have to push it because he knows he doesn't have to stop. Everybody else does. He'll regain his position and then some when they go to pit road. He won't, and things will get very, very interesting at that point.
Closest battle on the track is the battle for 12th between Chase Johnson and Dwayne Robinson. And think about this for Chase Johnson in the 15th position, increasing on Sean Patrick, who's in 17th. But Logan Jones, because this is a good battle for 14th in points, currently in 23rd. It's not been the best of days for the driver of the 03. Now, normally he drives the 08. But the driver of the 03 the past few weeks, Josh Doobie, not racing, and this was informed by me at the last second. So because of this, Logan Jones was asked if he could move to the 03 to try and keep the top 15 in points. He said yes. We've got a couple of drivers entering pit road. Jose Gaudino, Derek Colston just making his way out. Good battle for 8th on the line. Joe Campbell inside on Octavio Rondeletto. Now, Rondeletto pitted on lap 206, so his window will open shortly.
Yeah, unless Rondeletto knows something we don't know. Rondeletto is one that has pulled some fuel mile strategy in the past. Nowhere near the extent of Luke Turpin, but generally he can go another 5 laps over the majority of the field. So it doesn't make a huge difference at this moment in time, but it could come down to later in the race. That 5 laps could make all the difference in the world. It's just hard to say. Rondeletto, after the incidents early, working his way back towards the front, and it's it's kind of heartbreaking to see how close he's been this season so many times and just hasn't been able to seal the deal.
I mean, Rondeletto, though, he does have a win this season in Thompson, and that's the bright side, though, but he should have a bunch more iRacing wins. We just had a change, by the way, for 16th position. Sean Patrick getting by Ryan Seams about a lap ago. Biggest movers of the race so far, currently Jonathan Schwartz. He's been hanging on to 5th place for most of this race. You got to give it up for JB Smooth. Starting from the rear of the field due to not fulfilling MMP, locked in via top 15, but is in the 5th position, and he is actually coming in this time for his final stop of the race.
Yeah, now here's when the strategy question comes out. Some of these guys are going to try and stretch as far as they possibly can tonight, and hope for that caution, hoping it puts them in the position they need to be in at the end. However, guys like Austin Edwards, they need this thing to stay, or not Austin Edwards, I'm sorry, Luke Turpin needs this thing to stay green until everybody completes their pit stops. And there's also the question of tire wear. As we mentioned earlier in the race, you're constantly turning. Your car is never straight. It wears those right side tires tremendously, and fresher tires later in the run could make the difference between a win or...
Oh, trouble. Hang on. Trouble for Dwayne Robinson in the 14 in turn 2. Reports he had crashed.
Looking at it now, as he goes off into turn 1, the 999 just gets right up into his bumper and turned him around. Looked like the 14, Dwayne Robinson, was just trying to get the car to roll through the center. It looks like that car getting a little tight, and he had a little bit of a struggle there, but not terribly, no impact to the race. Race stays green, and Luke Turpin took a deep breath.
I think that would have been very close to bringing out a yellow flag. So 306 laps are complete. Alex Krapser leads. When we come back, we're taking you to the finish.
Butt Kicker Gamer 2. What you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Here to Lanier, issues with Joe Campbell in the 4, currently in 7th though, but watch what happened.
Yep, down through 3 and 4, and oh, he just checks up. The 82 had nowhere to go, and they were 4 wide, and cars lined up. If the 82 had stopped, it would have been him going, and you know, it was just one of those situations that happens at Lanier. A little bit of a heartbreak for Joe Campbell. Fortunately, he manages to recover and go forward, but definitely not the way anything he wanted happening this late in the race.
Just to let you know, by the way, Campbell not happy at all, and he just saw on the Whale PD, he's got enough for a protest on Aiden Beerline. And I'm going to say it once again like I will every time. Seems like Joe Campbell takes XCAL a little bit too seriously. I get why he is mad, because he keeps getting wrecked, he keeps getting screwed and stuff like that. But I mean, he's got to focus on the end, and you know what I mean, right, Doug?
Definitely, and I really don't think that he thinks that protest, I don't think would stand. That was one of the that was a racing. That was 100% a racing deal, and I understand it. You know what? You're talking about a 377 lap race, and it's a race where you're constantly turning, you're constantly concentrating. You don't get any break, any relief, anything, and you get a little bit stressed out and frazzled, and that definitely isn't what he wanted to see. But honestly, newcomer right behind him did everything perfectly right. It was just a racing deal, and I promise you, had Aiden hit the brakes, it'd have been a lot worse.
Absolutely. By the way, the guy that is glad the yellow did not come out is the guy in 6th spot, Luke Turpin. Remember, he's good to go the rest of the way. And of drivers that have already pitted, a bunch of drivers are in the pits right now as we speak for their final stops of the race. And right now, of those that have completed their final stops, Luke Turpin is out in front.
Yeah, Luke Turpin is absolutely loving this as long as this thing stays green, and he's about to get the 25, the 01. He comes, and the 25 is way loose off of turn 4 as Turpin comes underneath. I think the 25 needs to get to pit road. They touch briefly on the back straightaway. Oh my goodness, Luke Turpin was holding his breath through that mess.
My goodness, I don't know how many close calls Luke Turpin has been a part of, but this is fight, man. This is hard. He's showing that He wants this championship more than Babinger.
He definitely is. Babinger, he is currently back in 16th, whereas Luke is in 5th. Luke doesn't have to stop again, but Babinger, I don't believe he has completed his final. Yes, he did complete his final stop on lap 317, so he is good to go. The only cars that haven't stopped right now, as far as I can tell, you're looking at Joe Campbell, Mason Foster, Jonathan Bronson, and Alex Krapser. Once those 4 stop, guess who reclaims the lead?
Alex Krapser, and then also Luke Turpin.
Yep, Luke Turpin will be back to the lead as long as this thing stays green. Probably another 10 laps, we should see the remainder of the drivers hitting pit road, as some of these guys are really close on fuel.
Krapser's in. Krapser's in. Now, what do you do here if you're Alex Krapser? Do you take less fuel than Luke Turpin? Because we've seen that strategy work in the past, like we saw at Texas.
Yeah, you definitely take as little fuel as possible, right side tires only. If the timing works, you take right sides only, and you go get it, because that lighter fuel. Oh, we've got a wreck out of turn 4.
Apple!
Caution!
Oh, no! That's gonna change everything. That's not what you want if you're Alex Krapser. Joe Campbell is spun, and Matt Baer just got a dump. I think Campbell was coming into pit road. No, he wasn't.
Campbell was loose going into turn 3. We'll watch it again from a different angle, but he was trying to save it. He was using the apron to help rotate because his tires are obviously pretty worn. Gets down into turn 3. He gets loose. He was completely on the apron, and Matt Baer really didn't have a whole lot of room to negotiate that with, and unfortunately, Joe just gets caught. I believe Octavio Rondoletto caught a piece of that. Let's take a look, and possibly Chase Johnson. No,
Leaders are in the pits, by the way.
Let's take one more look and see if we find. Well, let's try a different angle here and just see. I think Matt Baer was bumping him on the back straightaway. He had his right sides above. Baer was down on the bottom. Rondoletto caught a piece of it. Yeah, that's definitely frustrating for Joe Campbell, who's definitely had a frustrating last part of the race.
And Matt Baer has received the black flag, and that's a shame for Joe Campbell. Had an opportunity to get his first ever top 10 in XCAL competition, and now his chances may have ended.
Yeah, and this is not what Luke Turpin wanted here. He is currently scored in 4th place. However, everybody on pit road, he is cycling around. It looks like he's going to get waved around the pace car. We'll have to see. I think that does put him back to the lead lap. Yes, it does. But he is going to. Jonathan Bronson currently scored in the lead. And now the question becomes, where do these guys line up at? Because as we've seen here in the past, as we saw earlier tonight, it's a little bit tricky.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be tough to figure out the scoring. Second yellow, by the way, in the race. Anyway, real quick, get another sponsor read in here. Tri-E Inc. builds walk-in coolers and freezers for grocery stores and big box stores in the southeastern United States, covering a geographical area from Florida to Texas to Virginia. They are an excellent source for installation, repair, and maintenance. Contact them at trieinc@gmail.com. So, according to scoring, this may make Luke Turpin the race leader.
I just saw that, and I know, because of where everybody was on track, getting the scoring right is a little bit tricky. Obviously, iRacing takes care of 99% of it, but you always have a glitch or something, and they're trying to straighten it out. But right now, looks like it's going to be Luke Turpin, Jonathan Bronson, Mason Foster are the only 3 on the lead lap. Then Austin Edwards, Alex Krapser, and Jonathan Schwartz are the next 3, and those guys are scored anywhere from 1 to 2 laps down, or 1 to 3 laps down, excuse me. We'll wait and see for sure once it cycles, but we thought this was the end for Luke Turpin. It might not be. Luke Turpin might still be in this fight. He might have a chance at the win.
Not what you wanted, though, if you are Alex Krapser. As what I have on my notes, now he goes back. He's going to be the last car on the lead lap, I believe. I'm just taking a look just to make sure we've got everything right. Turpin got a wave. Edwards got a wave. So Edwards and Turpin will be the last cars at the tail end. And then that will be followed up by Jonathan Bronson's in second. Foster, he's going to need a yellow if he wants to be back in this. He's currently third. Same with Austin Edwards and same with Alex Krapser. That yellow was not what he wanted, and that's a tough break.
Yeah, and, it caught a couple guys on pit road. Is probably going to benefit a few guys. Joe Campbell actually came out okay on that. I mean, he was running in the top 10. He's now back to 17th, but he's got a lot of room to work with.
Hang on. We got a checkup situation behind them with the lead pack. I'm not sure what's going on, but we are back to the green flag. We'll see what race control does with this. Yeah, go ahead.
That was definitely a wild one, as everybody wasn't seated, but they may have ran out of the opportunity to hold the yellow off. We've got cars hitting pit road, possibly serving penalties, and Luke Turpin being scored in the lead. Jonathan Bronson in second is now 9 seconds back. Mason Foster in third is now 7 seconds back, and Austin Edwards in fourth is 14 seconds back, tail end of the lead lap, and he's got Alex Krapser with him. So they've got to keep Luke Turpin either in front of them or get around him.
And this is big here. Austin Edwards inside on Luke Turpin. This kind of looks like shades of the battle for the win last time at Lanier, but not really. It's not for the lead. Meanwhile, Turpin gets back underneath. Here's Krapser trying to get back on the lead lap. Where is Jonathan Bronson, by the way? He is about a couple of cars behind. It's a half-second lead.
Okay, it is worth noting we've got 26 laps to go.
Edwards gets Bronson! Yellow's out! This could be on Turpin!
Let's take a look here.
Oh my!
Edwards got into the wall on the back straightaway. Turpin, I don't know. That was so close. Let's try and get another angle on this, because it's hard to say. That looked like one of those racing deals. As you see, Austin came down. Austin comes down a little bit, and it caught the 28 as well. Everybody else gets by cleanly, but those two cars, definitely not the way they wanted to go. It was 100% a racing deal, and also a heartbreak for Austin Edwards, who had been charging through the field. And before we forget, at 10 laps to go, nobody gets waved around. At 5 laps to go, PDJ Zeller will say, green, green, green. There will be no cautions on the last 5 laps unless an earthquake opens up the track.
Now, here's the thing as well. Keep in mind, if it's a racing deal, Turpin and Edwards both get sent to the back. It's an EOL. It is not a strike, though. We'll see what race control calls it. This is going to be close. But Turpin and Edwards, by the way, they're arguing right now in the Whale PD chat. They are not happy with how they raced each other. Turpin did not want Edwards on the bottom.
Well,
this is going to be interesting.
Definitely a racing incident, but I'm sure that they're both unhappy with each other. It looked to me like Turpin held his line, and Austin was just down trying to pinch him down he was trying to make the pass by holding him down and not giving him the run off.
They give it to Austin Edwards. Came down into the Turpin lane. Not a racing deal. Oh my goodness. So Luke Turpin gets a second win. That could have been huge in the championship if Turpin got called for a black flag or a racing deal.
I have to say personally, I think from that my perspective, I think straight up Austin Edwards, there shouldn't be a penalty. I think that was a racing deal. You're late in the race. You're trying to hold a guy down. You don't want to. That's how you get around somebody on the outside. You got to hold him down and use the runoff to your advantage. And definitely going to hurt Austin Edwards. He was going for win number 10 tonight. So that's a bit of a heartbreak here. Hopefully he'll be able to get it next week. But right now, Luke Turpin, now he does have to contend with Bronson, Mason Foster, and they're both right behind him. Crapser is still a ways back. Austin Edwards in the middle of the pack. But this is going to get really, really interesting. And then at 5 to go, no cautions, things are going to get sketchy.
The yellow was what Mason Foster needed. As for Crapser, he did get a wave, I believe, to get back on the lap. He did, along with Schwartz and Sullivan. Crapser, though, will need one more yellow if he wants to get back into this race. So now the thing you got to look at with Jonathan Bronson, what's the damage like on the top two? You see Turpin's damage with the front end. Look at Bronson, his front right fender, a little bit damaged there. I think Foster is clean, but this is going to be a crazy finish. Get your popcorn, get your beers out, put them in your more Polish pottery mugs. We've got a good finish coming up. It's going to be brewing.
Foster has a little help on his right side. That is his teammate, Gerald Poole. So he's going to have somebody there to give him a hand, help keep cars from getting to him, and that'll help keep Austin Edwards behind. But things are about to get really heated here.
They're about to get ugly, too. Get ready. Turpin, Bronson, Foster, your top three on this restart. Turpin fires. Here we go. Back to green with 15 to go. Excuse me, not 15 to go, 17 to go.
Oh, Mason Foster drifts up a little bit in the corner, has to get out of it, and Bronson manages to slide into second. They're nose to tail. Bronson gets Turpin, and it's 3 wide further back.
The bump and run from Bronson onto Luke Turpin. Now look at Foster on the outside. Turpin slams the door on Bronson. He put the bumper to him. Here comes Foster on the outside. Smoke behind them. 3 wide for the lead. Turpin cuts him off.
And wow, Turpin is doing an amazing job of driving defensively, but he better watch that. Oh my God,
He got Turpin. What a save. Jabroni to the lead.
Oh, Turpin's not going to be happy. Superman is about... Oh, there's a spin behind him as well. There is spinning all over the track right now. Joe Campbell got spun. Let's see if we can get a quick view on that one.
Edwards, I think, got turned as well, but we're going to that battle for second, Doug.
Oh, yeah, the 81 of Blake Wynn gets into Joe Campbell, and back up live, and Turpin and Foster side by side. Foster not giving an inch. Regardless, as long as Turpin finishes in second, he's going to have a huge points night here, but definitely I don't know what's going to happen if he has the chance to get back to Bronson as he finally clears Foster. Now Foster looks to the inside. Now Foster gives him the bumper.
The bump and run on Turpin. And here comes Matt Bear. Now look at Matt Bear. He's a team. Oh, Bear got loose. Bear got loose.
And Joe Campbell and the 81 of Blake Wynn right behind this battle. They are bumping each other. They had that incident just a moment ago. Oh, it's getting ugly out there, and it's 10 to go. Whatever, if we have a caution, there will be no waiver rounds.
Absolutely. 5 to go. The yellows will be turned off. Jonathan Bronson, 9 laps away from the wait finally ending for his first career XCAL win. A little bit controversial right now for pointing the chrome horn a little early on Luke Turpin, but I think this man wants that first win badly. Championship update, by the way. Luke Turpin, we already just mentioned him. He's back in 3rd position. Jordan Babinger is 10th. When you look at the standings, 3rd and 10th, that is a 30-point gain. Turpin could have up 63. Wait, not yet. Can he trip into Joe Campbell? They're loosey-goosey in turn 2.
Joe Campbell definitely having a rough night. The 82 on the high side. There's a spin.
They're all crashing out. Yellow's out. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, now I'm going to try and get everything that happened in that last couple of laps in this one. So first there was an incident with Daniel Miller. Let's see what happened. The 57 is right there with him on the outside, and Daniel Miller drives up the wall, barrel rolls it into 1 and 2, gets up against the wall, straightens it out, he gets going again. The leader came by while he was trying to correct. Then you got Derek Colson in the 5 car. Coming off of turn 2, the 14 is right there. He comes down, the 14 comes up, they meet in the middle. Gerald Poole gets caught in that one. And this is where the big one happened, and the caution came out just before 5 to go.
Now, guess who is back in the race? Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Krapser.
Krapser actually caught a piece of this, too. It looks like. We'll have to wait. Let's see what happens. There's the spinning in front. Yeah, he caught Gerald Poole, bounced off, went up into the 22, and managed to get it straight and going again just as the caution came out. Sean Patrick caught in this one. There was about a half dozen cars. We'll try and show all of them real quick here. As the 14 is checking up, Gerald Poole on the bottom. He gets into it. The 22 almost avoids it until Krapser comes up. Dwayne Robinson got caught in this as well as, he was the 14 that he checked up, tried not to, he gets into the 5, that's where the whole thing starts, and that is chaos. And then John Friley, I think Friley got into this a little bit late. He was coming around the corner at full steam and just nowhere to go as the track stacked up, yet the 5 car comes up. Some great avoidance out there, but holy cow.
So we will have a 2-lap shootout. Can you believe this? After the race we have had the entire night so far, it is coming down to a 2-lap shootout. Green, white, checkered with no yellows. 4 drivers in the battle with a chance at a win. Jonathan Bronson looking for career number 1. Same with Mason Foster. Same with Alex Krapser. But Luke Turpin in 3rd position. He wants payback on Jonathan Bronson. Oh boy, this is gonna be maybe the restart of the year.
This is so weird because it's never happened where we've had the caution right before 5 to go. Last time we were here, we restarted with like 6 to go, and the chaos ensued. Now we're restarting. This might be the first ever XCAL green-white checkered.
Happened in Charlotte, actually, earlier this year. The pace truck is in. Jonathan Bronson fires first. Great restart over Foster and Turpin.
And he's got to get away from Turpin. If Turpin gets to him, there will be carnage. I guarantee he's going to send him. Superman's still battling side by side with Mason Foster. Mason wants that finish. White flag in the air.
1 lap to go as they battle for second. Jonathan Bronson. The wait is about to end. First career XCAL win at Lanier for Jabroni Jonathan Bronson, checkered flag.
And you know the interview. Let's see what Turpin does here, and we might find out just how angry Turpin is here in about 2 seconds. There is a lot of chaos that happened in that last 20 laps. That was nuts. There's no other word for it. That was just utter chaos. But we knew something like this would happen. It happened last time, but we had more laps of it after 5 to go. This time, the green-white checkered. The caution comes out at just the right time to pull the only the second ever, I guess, XCAL green-white checkered.
Oh, they black flagged Bronson. The win taken away. Bronson just got a black flag for jumping the restart. Mason Foster, career win number 1. Are you kidding me?
Wow. So that brings Turpin up to second, and where does that put Bronson? I mean, how far back does that put him? As here goes Mason Foster. He just got the word that he has won this race. So Mason Foster gets his first ever career win in the Tennefer Gen Car. Hey, if you're gonna, you know what, if you cheering for Mason and happy about his win, go get you the Gypsy Soul single.
Bronson changed lanes on the restart. Mason Foster gets his first career XCAL win, I believe as well. That is the first win for the J&S Racing team. I don't think anyone saw that coming. PDJ Zeller is in the booth to explain what happened.
Yes, I did. Due to the nature of that finish, I felt it would be appropriate if I came in and explained it to everyone watching the broadcast tonight. On XCAL Racing, there is a very strict rule. You cannot change lanes before the start-finish line or restart. You must maintain lanes. Even if you put 2 tires in the other lane, it's a black flag. The 28 car clearly put all 4 tires up in the other lane, actually moved completely clear to the high side before the start-finish line. That was a pretty cut-and-dry call. The 28 car will be moved to the end of his lap. He will finish 4th tonight. Mason Foster is officially the winner.
Yeah,
You can see it there on the. Yeah, go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, we just watched the replay. We'll take one more angle at it, but that's got to be a heartbreak for Jonathan Bronson. And he wasn't thinking about that rule at that moment. He was just thinking about getting that win, but blatantly moving up a couple of lanes, and a bit of a heartbreak for Jonathan Bronson. Hate to see that happen, but hey, you know what? He still has a good top 5 finish here tonight, so congratulations to him.
And shaded by all of what happened in the final laps or so, we have to update you as well. We're going to get to it in just a moment, but the championship update. So Luke Turpin, a 3rd place finish. Jordan Babinger comes home in the 10th position.
Correction.
And
Luke Turpin finished 2nd now, and Babinger finishes 9th.
60-50, 35-point gain. Unofficially, a 35-point gain. This is a 68-point lead for Luke Turpin in the championship. Things just changed big time in the title race. We have got your top 3 with us. I'm going to start out by bringing on in here our 3rd place finisher, Alex Krapser. Alex, I want to start by first off on after a long run, the yellow comes out. Just what are you thinking in the cockpit after you pit?
I don't know. I was pretty frustrated, and then with the whole team being in TeamSpeak or Discord with the team, we're all trying to help each other figure out how much fuel we need and everything. And it went from being disappointed to try and make sure we got on the lead lap. I screwed up coming down pit road. I had 2 tires checked, and then when I didn't pit, it checked all 4, so I went a lap down. And pretty happy to see my teammate Mason win. I know a lot of our team had really good runs, and I'm proud of that. Just pretty disappointed in we got a caution at the end there and kind of ruined what was going to be at least a good showdown between me and Mason and Bronson under green.
I gotta ask you, just what more did you possibly need on that final restart? Put you back into the swing of things, though, with 2 laps to go outside on row 2. I thought things were going to get chaotic.
Well, I did too, a little bit. We kind of had a massive pileup. That's what the yellow is for, and I kind of got caught up in that a little bit in the back with kind of blocked the track a little bit and just got spun up into the wall and kind of hurt the power of the car a little bit. But I don't think we had anything for him anyway. I know it was pretty much blocked as soon as the restart came out with Mason and Luke being side by side, which ended up being for the win, which is awesome.
Who you want to give shout-outs to tonight, Alex?
I definitely want to start with Sean and Joe. They really helped out with the setup this week, and you could tell all our team cars were really good. Mason ended up with the win. Ryan Seams was in the top 10. Sean Andrews had a great run, and Joe was running good until he got spun with a couple laps to go, and that's kind of just how it goes. Got to thank. I know they don't get enough credit for this, but I got to thank Aaron, Petey, you, Marty, and Leto, and whoever else in admin of this league, because they don't get the due they deserve. They probably spend twice as much time as we do racing in this league.
I can already hear in the background the JNS Racing team celebrating. So, Alex, great run tonight. You're gonna get that first win soon, man. We just know you've been impressive these past few weeks. So, great run tonight.
All right, thank you, Marty.
Alex Krapser comes home in the 3rd position. Let's talk with the guy who finished in 2nd, and we know he's going to have a lot to say about what happened in the final 20 or so. Luke Turpin. Doug, take it away.
Luke, let's just start off with the Jonathan Bronson incident there with less than 20 to go, and with that restart, had you had the chance, would you have returned the favor?
Nah, man, I ain't gonna do nobody like that. That dude is a clown, and I'm a straight shooter on that deal. He's just a clown. Karma caught up with him. At the end of the day, I'm so happy for Mason, man. He did the right thing, and he tried to pass me on the outside clean. He realized it wasn't gonna work. Then he moved me out of the way. The other guy just come in bulldoze first. That ain't the right thing to do, and Karma caught up with him. And I don't even want to talk about the last 20 laps. I'm more concerned about why I got ARCA braked in the beginning of the race into a motor that was down 2 cylinders and puking water the whole race.
Is this real quick? I want to jump in. Are you talking about when you got involved in that first yellow?
Yeah, in the first yellow, after I led a majority of the first stint, I think I don't want to call Babinger out, but I think Babinger piled me into a wreck there with ARCA brakes, and I was down on horsepower the whole race. After that, I was probably down a cylinder or two, and trying to keep the water temp gauge off being pegged. I was gonna lose a motor for a while.
Does it, Doug? I want to ask Luke as well. Does it change the way now possibly you race Jordan with 3 races left in the championship? I mean, obviously you increased the lead today in points up to unofficially 68.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta look at it. Tell you the truth, Marty, it felt to me like I got pushed into that deal. I just don't know if he wasn't paying attention or if there was some purpose behind it. I gotta check it out myself and see what I think. Bronson's a bull in a china shop, man. He's just a weapon out there. I mean, he's worse than Chalbert was. I used to love that guy. I'm worried when these guys are around us because they're weapons.
Doug?
Man, yeah, I think you've covered everything, but you go into the last few races, you got a week off, a chance to cool down, work on the setups for the next few weeks, and just a couple of races to go. And after tonight, you've over doubled what you had coming into the last 2 weeks. So how does that feel, having that little bit of a buffer?
I tell you what, to lose this race by as little as I did, down 2 cylinders and the motor about ready to let go, them boys is in trouble moving forward. And congratulations to Mason, man. He's well-deserved. Awesome win for him. Shout out to my boys. I think Bear got black flagged by accident. Check that deal out. Shout out to you guys in the booth. I'm sure the call was probably pretty funny. Hey, man, Karma's catching up with these guys.
All right, man. Any team or sponsors, any other team or sponsors you'd like to thank?
Like I said, Aaron putting the whole deal on, running our team. He's a straight shooter too. He's been as fair with everybody as possible. I got to talk to Austin. I don't know what his deal is right now, but it is what it is. Congratulations to the guy, Crapser. Crapser probably deserved the win. If I wasn't going to sneak one away from him there at the end, going on fuel, he was probably the man to beat tonight, and victim of circumstances, I think, for him. So shout out to him.
Yeah, if that second to last caution had not come out, you would have walked away with winning that, by our math, with a 2-lap lead after everybody had been to pit road. So that was I know last week you said you weren't doing any more crazy stretching strategies or anything like that, but tonight it almost paid off.
Yeah, man, I got forced into that deal. I got to look at what happened early. I would have never done that whole deal had I had a full big block underneath me there. I would have been good to go. But, this kind of stuff rarely happens.
All right, man.
Right.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks, man. Take it easy.
Alrighty, now it is time to go to K2 Victory Lane, where we are about to talk with a first-time winner. Well, Doug, you and I were going to talk with a first-time winner no matter what the result was going to be, unless Luke Turpin won. But a surprising result, Mason Foster, first career XCAL racing victory. Mason, can you believe it, man? How's it feel?
It feels great. I'm shocked, really.
I think we're all shocked here in the booth after what went down. Just the final. Oh, just walk me through the final laps from your perspective after the caution came out off of that long green flag run.
Yeah, so I restarted in the back, and then there was another caution, and then I was up front, and the leaders were in the back, so I was thinking I had to go all the way around the track to catch them, which I knew that wasn't going to happen, so I was hoping for another caution, and there was. I was surprised. Actually, my teammate got involved in that one. I think it was Joe, yeah. So, but And then once I was up there, I knew I had something for him. Turpin had damage, and it was engine damage, so I knew he wasn't top speed. But I thought if I could get by Turpin, I could catch Bronson, or at least give him a run for his money. But Turpin was hanging tight on my inside, and I just barely edged him off.
Yeah, that was a close one. On those restarts as well, I saw you go into the outside lane just near the marbles. Was that a strategy because of the way Turpin and Bronson were racing each other really hard on the bottom trying to block?
Oh yeah, I knew Bronson was going to try and move Turpin, but I didn't really expect him to try taking him out like he basically did. But Turpin saved it, so I mean I had to go up almost into the wall to avoid it, but it worked out.
Hey, before we forget, there is a bit of a bonus for the win tonight. More Polish Pottery announced mid-race that you get your choice of a free coffee or beer mug for the win.
Wow! All right, that's cool. I'll take the coffee mug.
Coffee mug. Okay, you just heard it right there. Coffee mug for Mason Foster. More Polish Pottery. Mason, before we let you go, actually, you know what, Doug, you got any questions for Mason?
No, I'm good, man. Just congratulations. I know it's been a rough time coming through. You had some issues back with the Michigan races, a lot of frustration after, and you've been making one heck of a comeback, especially the last month. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. And
Mason,
I'd like to thank sponsors. Is that
yeah,
okay?
go for it. Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
All right, I'd like to thank Joe and Sean for giving me this opportunity in the car. I'd like to thank Jennifer Jen and Jeff Young for sponsoring the car. I'd like to thank Gerald Poole, my teammate, for making the paint, and everybody that's been on my team through this race and this season really has helped me out big time.
Well, Mason, before we let you go, I just want to tell you I was the one that brought you into XCAL Racing just through a Facebook post. You raced for my car at the time, and you were impressed with the series. You've been with XCAL ever since, and I'm really proud of you, man. I'm really happy for you that you got it done. You came so close in a couple of races like Phoenix, but you finally got that first win. I'm so proud of you, man.
Thank you. It means a lot.
Mason Foster gets his first career XCAL Racing win. Wow, we have got a lot to digest and a lot of stuff happening right now in the chat. We're not going to go into details there. We're going to get right to the official results here. Jonathan Bronson getting black flagged for changing lanes, finishes in 4th position. Mason Foster takes the win. Luke Turpin 2nd. Alex Krapser 3rd. Bronson 4th. Jonathan Schwartz 5th. Austin Edwards 6th. Patrick Sullivan 7th. Kenny Tripp 8th. Ryan Seams 9th. And Jordan Babinger 10th. Tyler Batchelder 11th. Sean Andrews 12th. Chase Johnson 13th. Greg Holmes 14th. Dwayne Robinson 13th. Blake Witten 16th. Joe Campbell 17th. Robert Colgan 18th. Zach Edwards 19th. Logan Jones 20th. Aiden Bearline 21st. Matt Bear 22nd. 23rd goes to Gerald Poole. 24th, Derek Colson. John Fraley 25th. 26th, Jose Gaudino. 27th, Sean Patrick. 28th, Octavio Rondeletto. 29th, Kyle Bartos. And 30th, Daniel Miller. 31st, Ezekiel Montero. 32nd, Kendrick Cryer. 33rd, Jeremy Leto. 34th, Art Hendren. 35th, Brett Edgar. 36th, John Brincaccio. 37th goes to Tanner Kalin. Wow. That, I don't know what you can say. That was, I think, Doug, I think when we had that caution come out after a long run, I think you and I expected this because it's Lanier.
I honestly, that caution, that last caution where we ended up with the first or the second ever green-white checkered in XCAL, that one threw me for a loop, and realizing what this was going to come down to was crazy. Just the events of the last 20 laps. I mean, we talk a lot about that last 20 laps at Lanier last time, but this one definitely exceeds expectations as far as that goes. Just one heck of a battle out of these guys, and chaos, but not how we expected.
So next week, I think we all deserve a week off after what went down. We are off next week. 2 weeks. Oh boy. You thought the tensions here were getting real? 2 weeks from now, we're at Bristol, baby. Oh boy. I think we're going to see a lot of bump and runs is from after what we saw here tonight. Bristol is going to be one heck of a show.
Yeah, the last race at Bristol was amazing and high speed half mile. And oh boy.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are going to bid adieu. Want to give a shout out to all of our great sponsors of XCAL Racing: Butt Kicker, K2 Sauce, JT's Mobile Pressure Washing, Tenor for Gin, More Polish Pottery, Sim Racer Coin, Tri-E Inc., and the XCAL Racing Web Shop. We will see you in 2 weeks at Bristol Motor Speedway. On behalf of everyone at XCAL Racing, the president, PDJ Zello, the vice president. He's the vice president. The president is Aaron Hillebush. I almost got that confused. See, I'm all messed up, dog, after this race tonight. On behalf as well of our senior admins, Derek Colson, Paul Coleman Jr., Jeremy Leto. On behalf of Doug Burns, working in mission control in the booth, I am Marty Sakala. We congratulate Mason Foster. First career XCAL win. It was a wild one, but he got it done tonight at the Lanier Raceplex. Thank you all for tuning in. So long, everyone.
Your conscience till you see the light. Your trip is burns in the flames tonight. A single word can turn the heart to ashes. Another word can paint you in divine. Born and bruised,
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.